What's happening, legends? Welcome back to the Becoming Reborn podcast. Now, today we have a very special guest by the name of Brad Takairangi. Now, today's podcast is going to be about being a Polynesian dad.
Is it? Beautiful.
That's a great start. And we've also got New here as well. He's obviously not a dad yet, but we're going to touch on some of the upbringings from News. But if you haven't already, go back, listen to a News podcast because it's a tearjerker. It's quite heavy too. So enjoy that one. Now, Bradley, first of all, it's fantastic to have you on here.
Thanks for having me.
I've known you my whole life. It depends on when you ask me this, but like I've known you since I was like either 3 months old or 8 years old. Like I put a bit of GS,
Close enough.
Bit of GS there.
When did you guys meet?
I would have been about 8. Are we talking like really like actual about 7 or 8? I would have met him.
Yep.
So from Takairangi. So Taka was the year below me at Takairangi.
Yep.
My dad was probably my coach at the time, but he coached like 3 or 4 Takairangi teams at a time. My brothers, possibly my sisters as well, and then my team. So I was down there every afternoon. Tax, I don't know why you were there all the time.
My dad was playing A grade.
Perfect.
Yep.
So that makes a lot of sense.
Were you gun at footy then?
Oh, when I first started?
Yeah.
Yep.
Gunner.
Tax was like, you know how big Hurricane is?
Yeah.
Tax was that big, and he was just a fucking animal. It was great. I used to always try and poach him, even when I was.
What posse were you then?
No, it's 8s. It's like
No, this is young.
Oh.
We're like kids.
Tax just started playing, and he was the big kid that like would just run around everyone. It was hectic. So he'd come up and play in our team every now and then, and if he played more than 5 games, I even remember knowing this too.
I remember this too.
I knew this rule. I don't know why, but if he played more than 5 games, he had to stay
there.
So
and I had played 4, and he was like, "No, it's all right. You can come back and you'll be sweet." And I was like, "Oh," I just told Mum, "Yeah, I'll play." And she's like, "No, you're not allowed to."
Susan.
Almost scammed me.
Almost. All right. So we're going to start this podcast with you, Bradley.
Oh.
Now, bit of beef straight off the bat. You are half Cook Island, Shot Louis,
Sure.
and then you're half Māori, Susan. But when we were younger, you didn't show any of this side, and I'm filthy about it. You never used to let me into the Polynesian side. Can you imagine your half Chinese friend not being half Chinese Aussie, but being half Chinese, half Polynesian with you? We would have had so much fun. But what I'm getting to is you grew up in the Shire. Let's be honest. The Shire is white. Very white place. How did you find growing up here, being half Cooks, half Māori?
I probably wouldn't have really noticed it until around high school. So when we were in high school at Wolloway together, you didn't really look at, when I looked around, probably didn't notice it like I was the only fob kid really.
Yeah.
But I wasn't really like, I'm not like brown like New, you know? So I was sort of like a white islander.
Yeah.
But I never really, I didn't really think much of it at all until I went to Endeavour. When I started Endeavour, and I was like, oh, this is me.
You were home.
I was home. I was like back with all the Islander kids. There was no Islander kids at all at Wolloway.
No.
So, and I didn't think anything of it until I actually moved and realized, oh, I feel way more at home now that I'm with my own. So that's probably the first time when I actually realized that there's lots of Islanders out there.
When you say fob kid,
Yep.
what does fob mean for the viewers?
So any Islanders, so like obviously the Samoan, Tongan, Māori.
What does it stand for?
Fobs.
Fresh off the boat.
Oh, fobbers.
But
Yeah,
like, that's what it stands for, but it's not what I get what you're saying.
No, I say just, I don't know. I just always knew that there was like, remember the mix fresh off the boat
Yeah.
by DJ Tickles? I just thought it was just a normal word. And then they said fresh off the boat. I was like, oh.
Still
there you
true.
go. Yeah.
People see it as racist, but it's not.
That's so far from racist, yeah. Well, if you think about it, like,
Well, I don't.
I don't find it racist at all. But like, any country would be fresh off the boat, wouldn't it? Like if you're not from Australia.
This conversation is going so good.
Yeah. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah.
But anyways, play on. I don't think it's racist. Look, we're all of us here are of different backgrounds, and I think it's all goods. I'm Polynesian for the next 45 minutes to an hour. How long this? Whenever
We'll get to this soon. We'll get to this. Yeah.
We will. Now, Tiki, did you feel connected to your culture or a bit caught between two worlds?
Well, I always was, as you know. I never really
Yeah, I'm filthy about it.
like never really went out or went to parties and that sort of stuff all the way up to probably when I was like, I don't know, 17. I was just very family orientated. So you probably saw one side of me at school where I didn't really talk about or showcase much of
You're white.
I'd say so. But like weekends I'm brought up and I was always around my cousins and love my family. I was brought up mostly through my Māori side, so on my mum's side, all my cousins from that side. So used to love watching like the All Blacks do the haka and the Kiwis, and that's where my love and my passion came from to try and represent New Zealand, was from that side, even though I was born here. And then it wasn't until I got a little bit older. My dad had his own like Cook Island group, like a dance group. So I'd obviously I've always been around that, but I was more on my Māori side. And as I got older, then I started to touch base or like a bit more with my Cook Island side. And I wouldn't say like I was just more with my Māori side compared to the Cook Island
Yeah,
side.
because most of your dad's family are back in Cooks anyway.
Yeah, correct. So they were all back. And I think it wasn't until like, I remember we're at Takairangi, maybe, I don't know, probably around under 18s. And I think that was the first time you've ever seen like a Cook Island. Remember they come down with the show and
Yes,
stuff?
I was going to bring
And
that
you're
up.
like, where's this been?
Yeah.
And I was like, I always saw it when I was growing up, but it was the first time that all my mates had
Yeah.
actually seen like the Cook Island
It was
drumming and stuff.
It was when we first played 18s together,
Yeah.
and that we did. It was like a Polynesian night or whatever it was. I
Yeah.
can't remember if it was Cook or it was
Fundraise
Māori.
or something?
Yeah, it was
Cook
That
Island.
would have been sick.
But
Mate, it was the best time then.
Yeah.
like I
best
said
time
before the
ever.
podcast, I never got to see any of this stuff. Me and Tax hung out all the time when we were younger. Most of the time on our weekends, if he wasn't with his family, through winter at least, right? We were together from Saturday morning all the way through, sometimes Sundays as well, because we were both at the fields. We get up to heaps of mischief too. We were very naughty, and it was a good time for both of us. But I never seen any of the more so the Cook stuff. I never seen any of that until, what was it, by Hurricane's first haircut? How many years ago was that?
To 2023.
2023. So only 3 years ago, I went to the first, like, Taxi invited me out. Remember you even going, oh, you won't like it.
Yeah, that's right.
And I was like, oh, wait, I didn't bring Ace. I was like, oh, I'll go out. Tax said, like, I won't like it. Ace would have loved it.
yeah.
Ace would have been up doing the dances, sorry. Doing the dances. Bro, and then I gapped it, but because there was a part where I was sitting next to Ice, and Ice goes, oh, they're about to do single dances. And what does that mean?
hell
Where
no.
you get one of the boys to come up and they have to do the cookie dance?
Stuff this.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't need that kind of embarrassment. I wasn't prepared. But what I'm getting to is I loved it. I love seeing your side of the culture. And I called you after and I told you that. But I never got to see that because it was almost like you lived, not by choice or not that you meant to, but you live like two worlds. You had like your white boy side, which is like us at Woolooware and all that. And then you had your family side of things as well.
Yeah.
Did you ever feel that?
I reckon the only time I ever felt it, I hadn't thought about this before, but I remember like, I don't know who we were in the car with, but like my dad used to always play island music, like just raro music. And I used to love it. Like I loved it growing up, and it was just the beats of the drum and stuff. I used to froth on it. And I remember one time we get in the car, I don't know if it was like Boz or someone was in the car with us. I was
He's
like,
white.
turn the shit off. Like, turn it off. It's not like, I'm just like, this is weird. Like they wouldn't know what this is, It's not like normal music. So that's funny that just popped in my head now.
Well, that's where I got all my music from growing up when we were younger.
Oh yeah,
Remember, you used to
100%.
come over to mine and we'd make
just had-
CDs and stuff like that together.
yeah,
Adorable.
tracks on
Red
tracks.
Rocket. Remember the Red Rocket? What a car, man. All right. So this is to both of you as well, this next one. What are some of the expectations in the Polynesian culture growing up?
The expect from us or as Polynesians growing up?
As Polynesians growing up.
In what way? With what?
Okay, let's start with work. Like, what's the expectations for you guys in like the work environment?
Well, I think, like looking at my parents, I would say they are hard workers. One thing I learned is that because we didn't have much growing up, so it was like the only way to have things on the table was to work. So I've always had hard work DNA inside me because of my parents. Even if my dad was intoxicated from alcohol, he'd still show up at work. He'd always find a way. So the expectation was to always provide for your family, I think, in whatever necessary way it was.
I'm exactly the same as him. Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly the same.
I can agree because I remember watching Susan work. I remember watching Louis work, and they'd always be turning up working.
Yep.
Now, I say this respectfully to white people out there as a fellow white person, but our culture when it comes to you guys and family expectations around the household way different.
Mm.
You brought this up. I can't remember what the incident was. Where there was you back home and the kids now weren't getting up and helping out when it came to like washing the dishes and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Your culture is way different to that. And I'm referencing when we went to Cook Islands when I don't know, it's like all the kids would straight away, as soon as everything was done, they go up and they clean. It's never expected.
Sorry, yeah. With that question,
Yeah.
actually thinking about it now, like our expectation was to serve our parents.
Yeah.
And so, like, as little kids growing up, you're told, not told, or at the start you're told, or else you get a hiding.
Yeah.
But like it just
You learn real quick.
Yeah, but it becomes so natural that you actually serve your parents because they do so much for you. So you make the food, you prep the food, and you actually can't eat. Or in my family, you couldn't eat until after the family, after the elders would eat. So whenever guests would come over, your parents would be like, "Okay, go make us some tea and biscuits," and then literally you sit down and wait, and then you just end up eating the leftovers. But as you got older, you actually realized like it's just a way of service and a way of respect. And I look at it now, bro, and I look at my nephews and nieces, they're like 10, 11, 12. And now, like, bro, they, like, we don't even have to tell them to clean up. Not that we're telling them to clean up, but they do it in a natural, with a natural instinct to do that.
Yeah. Tiki, same kind of thing around the household when you were growing up?
Exactly the same.
Yeah.
Like I said, you learnt real quick if you didn't. Well, I did anyway, and I wouldn't change it. Like I'm so blessed and grateful for the upbringing that I've got. It was a hard life early, but I wouldn't change it.
Like, I look at those things though, like that we're talking about, right? Tiki, you did it in the workplace. Like as soon as a class finishes, like you're the first one on the vacuum straight away doing all those things. You've never been asked once. No one's ever, before you did it, no one's ever been like, hey, we need you to go do that. It was something that was just naturally that came to you. And again, that would have been throughout like your football career. Like I'm thinking sweep the sheds, that kind of stuff 100%. As well. All right. So next question. What are the best parts of your culture?
You go first.
Yeah, someone's first.
Best part of
you
my
both
culture.
got two. Both got New Zealand, but both got Samoan. You got Samoan, you got Cooks.
I would say service. Like when people ask me what is someone's greatest asset, and I always say service. If you can, and serve comes in all different forms of listening, acts of service, gifts, and I just think if you can serve someone and put someone before yourself, I think it's the greatest asset.
I love that. And that always comes back to your culture as well. It's like everyone's always it's almost like a humble thing.
Yeah, but also too, like I think that's the downfall part of my culture is like we're so humble people, but our people think, they go, oh no, we have to be humble and quiet about it. But it's like you can also be humble in victory too, and like to play the game that Tiki and I have played, like we are humble people, but you got to have a bit of ego to play the game too, and you got to have a bit of confidence. So it's like, yeah, we're humble, but also we are confident within ourselves.
Yeah, I think New Zealand is as bad, if not worse, than Australia when it comes to tall poppy syndrome. They want to try and chop people down. What about you, Tix? What's the best part of your culture?
I'm just say like we're very family based. I don't know. So like for me, they always say, "Oh, what was your favorite part of your career and stuff like that?" And mine's always been like just making my parents proud. Like they say, "Oh, what was the best thing that happened in your career?" And it'd be like being able to represent both sides of my family, playing for both countries. I don't know. I just feel like mine's always been family based. Now that I've got 3 kids as well. I reckon they're feeling probably just as much the same as about like just trying to make obviously their grandparents and then us proud as well.
You're gonna make Ace proud too because he thinks he's Polynesian too. Remember?
Yeah.
You know what I love about both your cultures and across all of the Polynesians too is the ability to storytell. I love how much. Why is because when you hear the stories about your culture, it makes you understand the culture better. Whereas if you can't story tell, and you guys do it so well, and everything is a story, and everything has like a reason behind it, then you understand the culture a lot better. And I think like you guys, or you got a story about everything that is deeply embedded into your culture. And I love that. And like, you know, even like the dancers, they all have different reasons of why they're, like you think about the haka, like the haka's got a reason why it's there. And it's all got a story behind it. And I've like reading like books like Legacy. It's sick for me to see that from the other side. So like why you guys are able to tell such beautiful stories, but then that also gets me to understand the culture way better.
Yeah, and because you and Chloe would understand this when you guys went to cookies, like
Yeah.
you see the village life, you know, and you see our elders, and like when we're young and when our elders used to talk about where we come from, and because you know I wasn't born in Samoa, neither was Tiki, and our elders would talk about you know where we come from, and then when we actually go to the islands and you see our people, you actually understand why our parents talk about where we come from so highly, and then that's where the storytelling comes, and then you're like, okay, this is where I come from. We come from such a small part of the map, island on the map, and here we are. You know, you look at guys like, for example, Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, one of the biggest. You know, he's a superstar now, but he comes from a small part of the map.
Yeah,
Like one of the best actors in the world. You know.
Yeah, and I'm the same too. So like, obviously we've been best mates since we were what 7 months old. Is that what you said?
7 months old.
But
Give or
like,
take.
we've been going back to Cook Islands for like the last 3 odd years with CK, just doing clinics and stuff. And as soon as you guys had the opportunity to come over, or like the invite was sort of put out to use, I was excited for you guys to see our culture properly. And I remember you saying to us over there, like, this is incredible, you know, like I think the best thing is like our kids seeing how the kids live in the islands. Like they don't have shoes. A lot of them don't have footies, like a lot of this sort of stuff. But they're just the happiest kids in the world. So it's good for our kids to see how they live, and then obviously for you guys to see.
How was it for you guys?
outside.
But like, this is what I want you boys to both do. Next time you're with Miami's my 3-year-old daughter, right? And she's a spoiled brat, and you're gonna hear why in a second. She's been to like multiple countries, right? She's been to Bali, she's been to holidays, she's been to like 3 or 4 different countries. She's been on many holidays. It's her favorite thing to do. Next time you're with, I will not. I promise you, I will not prompt her. Ask Miami what her favorite holiday is.
No
She'll
way.
say Cook Islands.
Really?
Easily, hands down, every single time.
Why
She
do you reckon?
cries. She cries at night and will be like, I want to go back to the Cook Islands.
Why?
She loved it. I don't know. She just loved everything about it. She loved being in the Cook Islands.
So good.
She didn't want to leave. She loved the Cook Islands. So that is like something really cool. And do you remember when we landed, Tiki? And it was like semi taking the piss, but like at the same time I was being serious. I'm like, culture.
Yeah,
Remember I kept saying, bro, I'm here for the culture.
Yeah,
I just
yeah,
want to
yeah.
be a part of it. So then Tiki stitched me up, made me climb a tree. That's another story.
I love that. I saw that in the story. I was cracking up.
But
everything was like for the culture. He's like, I'm not doing it. I said, for the culture. He goes, okay, I'll do it.
So everything, but it was sick, right? Because I never got to see Tiki in his literally his home country. But then like I went there with the mindset of I'm doing everything to be a part of Tiki's culture.
Brace
And it
yourself,
was
yeah.
so cool. It was so cool. Other than climbing the tree in front of people, that wasn't that cool.
He's like, I'm not doing it. I'm
Did
like,
you get up at the top?
No.
He actually tried his hardest to. It was
I'll
mad.
always try my hardest. I did it, and I got like 3 or 4 things up, right? And then everyone's going, woo! And then I looked up. I'm like, oh my God. I got so far to go. I'm not bothering. But the guy that went before me could only get like a foot. I was like,
You beat him. Yeah.
I just got to beat him.
Was he a local?
No.
No.
It's just-
And the local.
Oh, he,
Oh, the
Oh,
local's
of
straight up
course
there.
it is.
He was straight up there in about
Climb the ladder.
3.5 seconds and made it look so easy. But yeah, that was really cool. It was to see you in your culture, to see your culture. But my kids seeing your
That's
culture.
the best ever. Yeah.
They didn't want to leave. Mimi was filthy. Yep. Next time, boys, when you see Mimi, say
gonna
ask her, and I promise you, she'll say Kuka.
But even now, like your kids have that bit of DNA of like Polynesian culture in them.
Yeah.
Because they are around us.
All the time.
You know.
Like Ace is adamant. He actually wanted me to go and look.
He wants to see. He want a blood test.
Yeah, he wants to see if we got any Polynesian in us. He's asked to like go have a look at our, what is it called, your heritage tree or something like that.
Yeah.
I just said, look, you got Uncle Tiki. That's close enough. It's sweet.
Jump in.
But that's cool. All right, now the hard question, boys. What do you not like? What are the hard parts about your culture that people don't talk about? And your brother Matt has written pretty much a book about it. But not to say we're talking about that exactly. but there's things amongst your culture. What are the things that you guys that aren't talked about?
Probably like, I would say victim mentality. Because we come from a small part of the map. I think sometimes, like, I'm just speaking on my behalf, but sometimes my own family could play it down where they're like, oh no, this is where we come from, so we're supposed to be at this level of life. And it's like, nah, like, you can be humble and victory, and it's like, bro, we're so gifted. Like, I honestly believe Polynesians are the most gifted people on this planet.
So creative.
You know, I see so many people go, man, how can you do so many so many things? Like, how are you able to do that? And we're like, bro, we're just raised in it. Everyone knows how to play guitar, sing songs, be creative, play sport. Like, we could do it all.
Tiki, like, actually, to both of you, I feel from an outsider, like the Polynesians get put in a box. You're big, you're fast, you're strong, you're here to play sport, and that sport is rugby or rugby league. Do you guys get to kind of see that as well, or feel that?
I just think because, like what Neil was sort of touching on, because a lot of Pacific Islanders, they're blessed with that natural size, so it just makes sense for them to fit into that sporting category, you know, where, like, I wouldn't say the white people, but a lot of like the white kid, well,
Yeah, it's fun,
mate.
Play
The
on.
white kid, they've got to work hard to get their size, you know, whereas a lot of it's given a gift naturally to us. So yeah, I don't know. It's a bit of a tough one for me. I don't find anything. Yeah, I love everything about our culture, to be honest, about my culture. And the best thing about it is, like, my kids embrace it now as well. They like, I think it's just because they're around it more. I pretty much force them to listen to my music, which is all.
That's so fair.
It's fair.
That's
It is
so
fair. But yeah, I'm grateful to be half Māori, half Cookie.
I think Tix, you've been very fortunate. This is a a huge testament to your parents, Louis and Susan. Like, they've brought you guys up so well that it's not as common to grow up as well as you have in terms of being Polynesian as well. Like, from the stories we hear as well, like, you're the, there's less of you than there is of the people that have had it a lot harder.
Yeah, I've shared this before, but like, there's a lot of parents who expect young NRL or like young up and coming players who've got big raps and stuff on them. They got to provide everything.
Yeah.
And mine's been so far like completely opposite.
That's mad.
You know, my parents have always been like hardworking, still are. So it definitely helped me, like, from, I can see the pressures that could be put on young kids. And we had a couple of boys who actually took their own lives because of this is back probably about 10 years ago. And so a lot of the stuff that I do with the NRL, the state of mind stuff, it actually originates from those two boys taking their lives back in the day, which is really upsetting. But at least we can spread awareness about that sort of stuff and put things in place to try and help these young kids come through.
Because a lot of Polynesians, even Fijians, I think we've spoken about this before, Tiki, together, where they've got to actually, they send money back.
Oh yeah,
and they
100%.
send back, like, it's like what they get what they get, and then it kind of goes back to what you were saying before, serving your elders. But they take it to financially serve your elders as well. You guys have a lot of mates like that through. Well, obviously we don't have to name anyone, but did you see a lot of that growing through when you guys coming through NRL?
Giving money back.
Yeah, to their families.
Yeah, I was doing that. We're all doing that.
Oh, were you uncle?
Yeah.
Do you have to provide for? Do you have to send money back?
Yeah, yeah.
How does that conversation come out?
Just your parents just ask you.
Hey son,
My mum goes, you're playing the NRL now. Yeah. How much do you get paid a week? Oh.
Oh, so like
So I used to go to the post office and actually transfer money over to the account, the accounts that mum would, should send me the details and I'll have to send it. What's it called? Because we couldn't. Well, back then I couldn't do bank transfers. I didn't know how to, so I had to go to the post office and send it. Actually.
Wow. Did you see that a lot as well, T?
Well, we had, like you said, the Fijians, but like Semi and Michael were big examples of that. But mate, we used to fill up like Semi used to get a container, and we just used to fill it up with like any of the boys who were not chucking away, but getting rid of furniture. We'd clean out all the boots, we'd clean out everything of the whole sheds. Mate, he used to put like a gym in there. Like when we moved out of Pertec, all the gym stuff was in there, and we're just loading it all up into this container. And they said, hey, where's my I remember Jenko used to always say, hey, someone see my boots? And we're like, oh, bro, that's in Fiji. It's gone. So we used to do stuff like that for Sammy and Mike a fair bit.
They used to say like in our culture, like if you're not giving back to the village, you're not like legit.
Dang.
That's what they used to say to us.
All right, New Breezy. I got a few questions just for you. So you grew up in a tough environment in New Zealand, like I said at the start, guys. If you want to listen to that podcast, go ahead. But just give us a 1 minute spiel on what it was like to grow up in your New Zealand culture.
Yeah, bro.
Environment, sorry.
Yep.
New Zealand environment.
Yeah, just grew up in a domestic violent family. I'm one out of 9 siblings, and so all of us sort of saw that toxic environment, and yeah, we've come out the other side, and it's a miracle, to be honest, that we're all still alive and we're all still connected.
Yeah, your brother's moving over here soon too, Matt.
Yeah, bro. Yep, he's moving over here at the end of the year, so it'd be cool to have family over here. Yeah, it's cool, bro. Like for so long since I was 16, I'm 31 now. That I've been here since when I moved from New Zealand at the age of 16, and so just to have one of my own family members, my own blood member, would be cool.
Yeah, that's gonna be cool as. Yeah. All right, so what did you learn early that shaped the man you are today?
Right, probably the experiences, man. Like, I said this on my story the other day. Like, I went to the Shark House Pro 2 days ago, the Cronulla Sharks House. It's like a house full of young 16 to 18-year-old boys that are pursuing to become an NRL player, but they come from different states of Australia and from New Zealand. And literally, bro, I just got invited just to share my story because most of them are homesick, and away from home. And one of the boys, he spoke and he was like, "Oh, I'm a bit homesick." And I said, "Why?" And he goes, "Oh, just because I'm so used to mum doing everything." And like when I sat there and I got emotional, but because I could see myself, the 16-year-old me, when I moved into that house, I could see myself in him. And I was like, "Far." And I'm going back to what was your question?
What did you learn earlier? Today?
Exactly. Well, yeah, going back to that question is like I said to those boys, everything that you are going through now, like the being away from home, like leaving a home at the age of 16, that's a massive lesson. Like I said to him, I was like, "Bro, you might not be able to do the things because you expected mum, you expected that mum would do everything for you, but in 10 years' time, I bet you won't need anyone to lean on.
Your character building.
Because you got yourself." And I think one thing I've learned being in my environment back home is like, it was so hard, right? But then I had to learn the hard way coming over here. And it's probably a blessing in disguise that I came over here. But I was like, bro, now I don't need anyone to save me. I can save myself.
Yeah, it's very important. All right, how important was culture and family in your environment?
Bro, massively, like massive, because just growing up in a domestic violent home, bro, you gotta we needed each other just to get through. So I'd say family is most important.
What challenges do you face that people wouldn't see?
Or then or now? Now. Probably just lonely, bro. Lonely, being away from home, even though my wife's family's here. Like I love them, they're my own family, but blood family is different, I feel.
That's true, because I just realized you said you came over here when you're 16, you're 31. Next year, you've literally lived here the same amount of time that you lived in New Zealand. So you're gonna be more Australian after that than you'll be New Zealand.
I know, bro. But can you picture like Miami or Ace or Jet at the age of 16? You go to New Zealand or go to a different country. For me now, like when I do become a dad, I'm like, I couldn't picture that.
But Ace and Chloe talk about how Ace is going to live with us forever. Like him and Chloe, like they don't want to separate ever. So no, I couldn't see that happening. But like Tiggy, I was thinking about you while New was talking about it, like growing up. You had to grow up a lot earlier as well. Now I'm thinking about, because you were so different to us through that naughty boy stage. When I was like 14 to 20, we hung out, but only in your environment. Like you think back, we've only probably drank with each other, considering how much time we spent together, like a very minimal amount of time.
Was it that much of a goody good?
Yeah, but I can only remember drinking with Tax like maybe 10 times.
I wasn't allowed to.
Yeah. And I was naughty.
You'd get a hiding.
Yeah. was so strict, and that's mad. Like, I actually laugh about this. I did a speech at my dad's. I think it would have been his 50th, but like I copped everything, right? And then obviously because I'm the eldest, and then when like a few years later, Kiana's coming through, bro, nothing happened to her.
What?
Yeah, like I said, like, I would never drink. And I remember she like went to her mate's house. She would have been like young as like maybe I don't know 13 or 14, and she got in the piss with her mate, and their parents caught up my dad, and he was like, "Mate, I'm so sorry." Like they've gone into the alcohol downstairs, and like they're like drunk as come pick her up. Like she's spewing, and I was in the background going, "Yeah,
Yes,
she's gonna get
baby.
hiding."
Yeah.
Like finally, it's not just me. And we got over, then she's getting cuddled, and oh, sorry, baby, and all this. I'm like, what the hell is this? I didn't drink until I was bloody 18. I was like, I was just too scared, I was like, and I didn't want to. I wanted to play footy and stuff, but it didn't like phase me or anything. And I used to get all the hidings, and then Kiana got nothing. And I was like,
So
you
Tiki, when like
bloody-
I'd go out and that, the next day, like if I saw Tax, he'd be out the fields, running around, kicking the
True.
ball, doing ladders.
She
Shit
just
like
never
that.
phased me, yeah. And I just was never really interested.
No one.
That's a good thing though.
What's the best ever?
I'm not sure if this is 100% true, so you can back me up here, bro. No, I'm being legit with this one,
Oh.
but none of us pushed you either. No, like, nah, Tax, come drink with us or anything like that.
Yeah, nah.
That's great from you guys.
No, look, I just knew
Because
that
they didn't bother asking because I would never go. Like even at year 7, I went to like
you won.
that one party thing.
I still
it was like
remember
a
the
school,
one
high
thing.
school thing.
Yeah.
And I went to that, and then I was just like, this is.
That's good from you, bro.
I don't know,
Yeah,
it's just-
bro. It was heaps different. We would always hang out, but I don't ever remember hanging out with Tax on the piece.
Yeah,
Like,
never.
there's like 3 or 4 times I can kind of remember us drinking. It would be like either like maybe in an event or like I remember being down the coast with you that one time when we drank red wine. That was a horrible decision, by
Oh,
the way.
yeah.
At the park.
No,
No,
at
that is
my
a
little
caravan.
cabin. Yeah.
But like, I would have been like 19 or 20 then.
yeah, exactly. Like never
Like,
when
I
we were
was just-
younger.
Wow.
Never. I don't
no,
ever remember it
yeah, no
happening.
one
You're an angel.
Angel.
Angel. You hear that, everyone? Brad Takairangi? Angel.
That's great.
Best.
I would not think that, eh?
No. Because he's so cheeky and he's so like, no, it wasn't him. He was like always training and stuff like that.
Bro, I went nightclubbing when I was 14. I
That's
got
too
on
young.
with one of my best mates' brother's ID.
ID.
No, that's too young.
Not ID, passport ID.
Oh, that's adorable.
Yeah, bro.
That is so red hot.
Because he didn't have a license.
That is so
Oh,
good.
real.
Yeah, fun
That
fact
never
about
phased
Tiggy.
me.
He never used to go out. I remember, I still remember the year 7 thing he's talking about. It was like this church thing that you go to. It was like a zone 78 or something like that. And you go to it, and they're like, at the start, no one really was drinking. But then by the end of the year 7, like kids would turn up, they're drunk and stuff like that. But Tiki never came again. But no one was
Proud of
drunk
you,
on that
bro.
night that he came. But after that, Tiki, he never even came out again after that.
It's never, yeah.
And I didn't
No
see
wonder
him.
why you cracked it.
I didn't see him
What-
again
what
until
age
he
No,
was
but I also like wasn't allowed. And I wouldn't even bother asking, you know. I just, if I like, can I go to my mate's house? Nah. So, sweet.
That's good for my parents, though, bro.
It's mad. That's what I said. Like, I've taken a lot. I think it's going to go into the next part that we'll speak about. But that I've taken all that on board as a parent now. Like, I'm strict with my kids.
Yeah,
But
then
they're the same.
But sometimes when you're too strict, they
They
can
go their
go
way.
They can
Other
go their
way.
way, eh?
But then
Which is good for
I
me.
refer that to like I don't know, our culture or how we are as people. They respect us too much to go the other way, or this is how
That's
I
true.
feel anyway.
But like as a white person, so to speak, this is exactly what I was going to say. I think the respect there comes from obviously you as an individual, but it comes from your culture of serving the elders and respecting the elders. Whereas I don't think that happens as much in, let's just say, my culture.
Yeah, 100.
I don't know what's like with Chinese yet. Mum wasn't very good at that. You know what I mean? She was like, I always hear stories about like Chinese mums, and they're like, oh, they're so strict.
Oh mate,
They make you do this.
Pauline's
They
a
make you do
goat.
that.
Does she know much of her Chinese?
Nah, which is sad. When my grandmother came over, she was only 2, right? And the only reason she came over here is because she broke her arm. If she didn't break her arm, they wouldn't leave her there in China. This is my great grandparents, right? They left 2 other kids over there, and then when they came over, my great grandparents ended up having another 9 kids or 11. I think it was 9 more in Australia. All of those kids then had their kids, but the generation that they grew up in is that they tried to do everything they could to be more Aussie so they could fit in more.
Right.
Because Asians, I'm sure, is like that with a lot of immigrants. They were seen as like the outsiders, and they try to do everything they can. So my grandmother didn't speak any Chinese. My mum never spoke any Chinese, which just sucks. Because I'm like, I wish my mum had been able to teach me to speak Chinese. Imagine if I
bro,
just started
100%.
banging out Cantonese right now or Mandarin. That'd be hectic. But they just weren't proud of their culture. I understand it because they're trying to blend in and they want to be like that. But that's what I love about your culture. It's like you guys are proud of where you come from and who you are. I'm so proud to be my mom. Be the son to my mom. But I don't necessarily feel like that anyone was proud of their culture.
That's one thing. Oh, sorry. One thing I wish my dad did. Like when Khalil was first born, I was like, just speak to her in Raro, like, because he can speak it fluently. And obviously Sarah, she's been Samoan background. Her parents, she can understand and speak it as well, like Samoan. And I was like, just speak to them in that language so that when they grow up, they can speak all 3 different languages. And they didn't. It would have been
hectic.
Yeah, we in our household we had to speak it in our home only because if we didn't, we'll get a hiding.
Yeah.
Wait, speak Māori?
No, Samoan.
Samoan?
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah. Like,
Please tell me you can still speak it.
yeah.
Thank goodness.
But I know all the bad words too.
Yeah, you do.
That's all I heard.
That's all you learn, eh?
Who's a
Gosh.
bad boy?
I know.
Who's a bad boy?
Naughty.
I think we're getting to the good question now. All right. But before we get into... Oh, no, actually, yeah, I'm going to start with this. Taka, best mate of 30-something years. We'll go 38 years now, even though the math doesn't add up. But we're getting longer. The thing I'm the most proud of, all your kids are beautiful, but Kalia is next level. You were what, 20, bro?
Yep.
20 years old when...
Damn, bro.
20 or 21?
Yeah, I think 21.
Bruh, like, that is so young. So young. And Taka was such a young dad. And the fact that you've brought... And I've said this to you her whole life. She's the most beautiful daughter, person I've ever met. And that's a testament to you and Sarah. I'm your biggest fan in your NRL career. You know that well. I know everything about him. Every photo. The other day they got photos up and I knew which photo to look for. But that is the thing I'm the most proud of is the dad that you are to your kids, but how you have managed to bring Claire up and now she's like a third parent for you guys. The most sweetest soul in the whole world. So this next part is about you being a dad. So I want to start off with congratulating you with that one, bro. Now, being a dad yourself, what parts of your upbringing do you want to keep?
Like I was touched on before, like I'm very strict with them, especially Kalia. She respects that as well.
100%.
She doesn't really ask to go out with her friends. Like she's at her age, she's 14 now. She'll be 15 at the end of this year. And like all of her friends have had mobile phones for like years, and I've only just let her get one this year, and she's only allowed to do it because we've got a footy chat, so it's for her to be part of the footy chat with all the girls, so like the team list and stuff, and like how we want to play. That's the only reason why she's got a phone. But it's like she was obviously the eldest grandchild, so there's about maybe 30 kids now, right? So amongst all the sisters, I don't even know how many there is, 25 to 30 kids, Samoans, they're the big families, you know? So she's one of 7, and they've obviously all got kids, so it's big now. So that's probably a big reason that she was the eldest. Like she's the eldest now, so she's grown up looking after all those kids as well. But like you see her with like Mimi, and you see her with like even Brave and Alaska, and all the little kids. She loves looking after, but that's just part of who we are. I think she's just done that growing up. But we got a male relationship too. So like, I always find like here that like this is the ages where the teen girls start to go a bit wild and that sort of stuff. But there's no inkling of it at all with Kalia, and she's the cool thing with that is she loves her footy now. So like I'm coaching them obviously. She's always asking questions about like different positions, and like I find that pretty cool.
Talking about shape,
isolate
inside shoulders in that.
Yes, honestly, it's crazy. Like I'm talking about like with a bloody like a 14-year-old girl, but she played second row yesterday. I've been playing her in the middle, and at breakfast we were having breakfast together yesterday morning. And she's like, "Oh, Dad, I'm playing second row." She goes, "So when should I have my carries?" And I was like, this is hectic. So we're eating the eggs, and I'm like, so when they kick off the side, like you want to come around the open side, and the best thing was I'll go and watch her.
And she does it.
First kick off, she comes to the open side and she takes the carry. I'm just like, this is cool. So
That's mad.
We've got a mad relationship, and I don't know. I hear different stories about other dads struggling with their kids and that. So I'm just really grateful.
Yeah,
that
bro.
she
Like
got
I
a
don't,
gem.
I use the word blessed, but I think it's just it's
It
a
is,
testament
man.
to you, brother. The
Nah,
way that
blessing.
you've brought up that like she's a very special kid. Now, what parts do you want to do differently from your upbringing?
What would I do differently? I actually heard my dad say this the other day, and he was like, "Oh, this is like a couple of weeks ago." He was like, "Oh, I never really got to take you guys on holidays." When I was like, I said, "Who cares? Like, I don't really care about that." The best thing about what my career's given us already is that we've got to take the kids around the whole world already. They've traveled the whole world. I remember it was big in 2021. I had a contract to go to England, and because we're so family based, especially with Sarah's family and the kids, it was a bit hesitant to whether we wanted to go over or not, and how big of a move would be. But like my pitch to them was, think of any kids your age. No one will be able to say they've been to France or they've been to bloody Spain and Greece and all these places
I love seeing
at
those
their
photos.
age, you know? And I was like, that's pretty cool that my career's got to take them around the world already at such a young age and experience different, like make friends and being able to fit in different cultures and, you know, the Pommy way of life, and then coming back to Australia, changing schools here and there. So I think that already they've gotten, I guess, that I didn't get that.
That's
growing up.
cool. That's cool, man. So I actually remember as a kid when I would go away, you'd never go away.
Oh, never.
And then seeing, like, I remember when you're away, obviously we chatted probably more when you're away than when you're here. When you're at Parramatta, let's not talk about it 'cause you never saw me. But anyways, when
Good
you're in
story,
England,
mate.
we would talk heaps. We would talk
Yeah.
heaps. And then I still remember I hadn't met Hayes yet, like in person.
Mm.
We were always comparing Ace and Hayes
Them
together, and they were
together.
like so similar in everything they did. But I would see you put up photos of like the boys at like it'll be Nice or like in the
Yeah,
snow
it's
one week, and
crazy,
then the next
man.
week you're over in like whatever island it was. I was like, bro, that's the best.
It's cool, yeah. It's just,
That's really
yeah,
cool.
that's
What kind of dad do you want to be day to day?
Oh, just same as everyone, I reckon. Like just someone who's supportive. I want to help them chase whatever dream they want to achieve in their life. The best thing about this, like the job that I've got here with you at Reborn too, is we've got that flexibility to be able to be there to make lunches and stuff. You know, little things that I took for granted. But I actually on one of my days on Wednesday morning. No, it's Thursday mornings. Like I love getting up and like making them breakfast, making their lunch. I'm like a goat.
I believe
Can
it.
you cook?
Yeah, breakfast only. Breakfast only. I cook them the best Nutri-Grain. So I dip that in, give that to them. I make Kalia breakfast, her eggs. But I'm actually enjoying like little things like that you take for granted.
Yeah, bro.
I actually full enjoy doing that. Being able to go watch them grow up and like watch their school sports or like their weekend sports. It does help that Kalia wants to play footy, so I can put all my time and effort into helping her achieve that goal as well. So, yeah, just someone who I'll just always be there from.
Love that, brother.
Yeah.
I know, Breezy.
Yeah.
No kids yet, bro. But when you become a dad, what values do you know you'll carry forward?
Just love, bro. Love. I think one thing, like, yeah, like no parent is perfect, but one thing I definitely know when I was a kid that I knew I was loved. So, you know, a lot of conversations tough conversations, but very honest conversations. And like when I was young, I used to be like, man, I used to roll my eyes listening to my mom and dad talking about, you know, when I die, you know, one day your dad won't be
100%,
here or your mom won't be here. And like the cool thing about grief is like there's a blessing in disguise in grief too. You know, like, yeah, it's hard losing the person that you love, but also it just gives you a different perspective of life. And now that, you know, my mom has passed away, you know, all those conversations come back. And I'm like, man, I actually did take those for granted. So one thing I would want to carry when I do have kids, when I become a dad, is to have those conversations with my kids, tell them how much I love them. Because, yeah, you're right. One day on this planet, we won't be here.
I just got deep real quick.
Sorry.
Nah, love that for you. What would you want to change from how you were raised? Now, you're going to be raising your kids in literally 2 different countries, but it's 2 different worlds. What do you want to change? What are the main things you want to change? Probably the diversity violence. You probably don't want that.
No, yeah.
No, Jake the Musses.
No. Yeah, obviously just my vocab, my language towards my kids. I think that's probably the only thing I'd love to change, like the way I talk to my kids. I think I was so used to back home. I was so used to screaming, yelling, and all the bad names. Yeah, I've heard all the names that you could call my mum or my dad. So it's like just that language. Even like sometimes when I get upset with my wife, and the language I use, it's so different to her world, and so I'm just trying to understand what is normal. Yeah, because my normal isn't obviously not everyone else is normal.
It's a really good one. What kind of environment do you want to create for your kids?
The environment that I want to create for my kids, bro, is just a safe one. Safe, to feel safe. And because of, what I've done in my career with playing rugby league, I don't want my kids to expect that they've got high expectations. For me, I'm just like, bro, I'm proud whether you want to be a rugby league player or whether you want to work in a factory. I just want to be a proud father in that way.
I'm going to start with you, Nu, on this. It's the last final question. It's the toughest question. Have you ever thought about this? Because you're normally sitting over there watching and listening to these answers.
Answers or answers?
Nah, answers. We're Polynesian,
this
uncle.
time, yeah.
Come on, uncle. Come
Sorry.
on, bro. Like, come on, show some respect. Answers. It's a culture. How do you want to be remembered by your kids?
Oh, I just want to be able to show my kids that I can show up for myself in all aspects of life. And like, obviously I've learned that from you. Since I first started at Reborn after retiring from football, I learned how to build good habits. And so I think for myself, because when I was young, seeing the other habits, not so good habits, for me, it's like, I just want to show my kids that if I can show up for myself, you can do the same for you. Because like I said to you before, this podcast is like when like people are out there playing the victim card looking, for someone to save them. But it's like when I was young, I had no one to save me. So for me, it's like, I just want my kids to be like, you've got this on your own too. You can do it on your own.
Love that, bro. Bradley, Takai, please don't make me cry.
No.
What would you like your kids to remember you by?
Probably just someone who loves them, obviously. Someone who loves them. Someone who will support them and be there for them. Sometimes it's, I get a little bit excited if someone has for kids and I want to go and visit their dad. But I've just need a little bit better with that sort of stuff. But yeah, I'm always going to be someone who will provide for them and give them every hope in life for whatever they want to achieve.
Love that, Bradley. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure. Usos. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Usos.
You want more us? All right, boys. It was a pleasure. Till next time. Peace.
Peace.